Hey everybody, how you doing today on November 18th on a Thursday? And what's special about today? We have a nationally televised game today. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the New England Patriots here. And I would say the friendly confines of Mercedes-Benz, but they haven't been friendly lately. It's only been a couple of times we've been able to have a little success in that building while fans have been there. And this has been one of the times that they have an opportunity to change all that. We have moved on from the debacle of last week. Dallas pretty much flexing on us last week in the 43-3 shellacking of the Atlanta Falcons. But the thing about it, in a Thursday night game, you don't have a lot of opportunity to sit and cry and feel sorry for yourself and all of that. You have basically 3 days to prep for the next game. And I know we have a couple of wounded soldiers on the roster. Hopefully let's see what's up with CP. Hopefully he's able to play. And even if he's not, though, we got to press through and do what we need to do. What's going on, Jansen? How you doing, brother? Nice to have you in here again, part of the and I apologize, Jansen. I meant to join you the other night when y'all were talking about the preview of the game. One of the things, the young man that you were talking to, when we start talking about going forward as a franchise, you can go two different ways about this as far as the Patriots are concerned. You can sit here and say the ghost of Brady and what he has over the Patriots is too much for the Falcons to overcome. Or you can say, you know what, new regime, new attitude, difference, maybe that will carry us to a different result. So if anybody knows, we all know by now we haven't defeated a Belichick team or a Tom Brady team in ions. They were never defeated a Tom Brady team. So an opportunity to change history this week coming up. I'm hoping that the guys are up for it. I want to say emotionally. This is 2 weeks in a row you're going to be on the nationally televised game. Again, last week's 1:00 game was seen by more parts of the country. The Atlanta-Dallas game, that was the marquee game at 1:00 for Fox last week. So, of course, you got the spotlight to yourself this week. We're coming back to the Benz where we haven't won a game with fans since, well, significant fans, I should say. I know there were some fans who went out there last year, but we haven't won a game in the Benz in 2021. The horrible loss to Philadelphia, the crazy zany loss to Washington, and the Carolina game, which I'm still trying to figure out how we didn't win that one. Right now, the team needs to kind of just wash the memories out and just go into performing right now. You're down to Russell Gage being your number one receiver. Not sure what the deal is on Patterson. Judging, unless I heard anything in the last hour or two, which I haven't, sounds like he wants to play. So at least that could be a positive. I was listening to someone say, why don't we save him? Save him for what? We're 4-5. If you're 4-5 and he says he can go, then you let him go. That's one of your best players on your team. What are you saving him for? I mean, you're saving him for nothing. If he can go out there and perform, then you let him go out there and perform. So I don't see any reason not to put him out there. Jansen again says, can't wait for the game. Yeah, it's going to be good. And I'll tell y'all at the end. What's going on, man? How you feeling, brother? Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And I want to, I don't want to say pat myself on the back, but thank those of you who watch the videos and has kind of caught the channel. We just went over 500 subscribers on YouTube. So, hey, that was pretty good in a 2-year span. So I appreciate everybody getting the word out. Keep going, because we would love to get monetized. So keep spreading the word. Let everybody know. We're going to have a Grammy Awards nomination show. So we'll talk about that next week. But right now, we're all about the Atlanta Falcons and the New England. I'm trying to add a syllable. The New England Patriots this week. Jansen said, love the setup. Thank you, sir. I'm going to switch this thing on. I know I keep saying that, but we're going to do that. Lisa, what's going on? Say, here we are, week 11. Did it seem like we blinked our eye and this season has just flown by? We were talking about the dog days of summer and how I can't wait. And now we're already here halfway in. It is almost time to get into the home stretch. And still, despite the last game, a lot to play for. Whether it be going for the playoffs or just for pride, to just try to go out there and try to win, y'all. Just try. Cam, how you doing, sir? Got the guns. I don't know about guns. They might be water guns, but I definitely need to work on these. Man, when I was in the Army, man, I used to be so proud of my arms because of all the push-ups I used to do. And I'm not going to lie to you. When I got out, Cam, I told myself, I said, I'm not doing another push-up if I ever had to again. But good comedy, brother. Lisa said, I don't expect the ghost of Brady has anything to do with it. It's a matter of coaching and execution. So does Belichick out coach Smith. We'll see. And I'm not saying, Lisa, you're in a different brand, to be quite honest with you. I'm not talking to your brand of fan who is close to my brand of fan where we don't subscribe to things like that. But let's be honest. Let's look on all it takes is you to look out on message boards, look in Falcon groups, folks that tend to make more of that type of connection of the whammy that Belichick has over the franchise or Brady has over the franchise. I'm just saying that facetiously. And I'm also saying that for those who actually think that there's some kind of hex, just like people were talking about the Braves and we were hexed and we broke that. So just those things that you have to overcome. Now, as far as coaching and execution, those are the things that, to me, are going to be interesting. Last week, we ran into a talented team that got it all together. Dallas, whether you like them or hate them, Dallas is a very talented team. If you look at their positions and they are top, if you have players basically in the top 10 in just about every position on your team, you should be 8-2. And if you're not 8-2, then you start looking at coaching. So when Dallas goes out and stubs their toe at home against a Denver team, that's when people start saying, are you coaching these guys outright? Then when you look at what happened last week with Atlanta and you say, that's the Dallas. But again, Dak Prescott, probably a top 10 quarterback. CeeDee Lamb, probably a top 10 wide receiver. Ezekiel Elliott, probably a top 10 running back. Offensive line, got to be a top 10 offensive line. Defense still has some things to get over. I think they took advantage of a weak Atlanta Falcons, a weaker Atlanta Falcons team. I still think there's a lot of improvement in the offensive line from last year. Too many lapses for the offensive line. But we're still, to me, a little bit better than last year where they were just doing olays and letting people run right into Matt. And give Coach Smith credit the majority of the time trying to move Matt from that spot and getting him to move around and hopefully engage his receivers. And just because if they run the route, it's all over with. The things he's been doing are fine. We just need to keep going in that direction. Cam, say good stuff on 500. Yeah, man, I am trying my best to get up there. Hopefully, hey, let's make a playoff run and hopefully we get enough people that will go in that direction. Yeah, you did. And I remember when you told me, man, I listen, I appreciate it. By no means does this mean stop. I appreciate what folks been doing. I appreciate folks engaging me. I know you got a choice of content to look at. So I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to push a like button to subscribe, even if you don't watch it every day. But I appreciate that. Lisa says it would be nice to finally get a win against the Patriots. And I think this is a prime time, too, when you start thinking about it, Lisa. Look, Matt Jones has played out of his mind. But one of the things that I found out this season in 2021, that this is truly just a every week league. When you look at even a lot of the top teams, we played one last week in Dallas, how they stubbed their toe against Denver. You look at Baltimore last week, stubbing their toe against Miami. You look at Arizona. Yes, I know without Kyler Murray, but that was the same team that went out and beat up San Francisco without Kyle Murray and did a pretty good job of that. And look what they did against, against the, I'm trying to think who they lost to last week, but they lost. When you go to the AFC and you start looking at Buffalo and how they did against Jacksonville, every team has had a significant stumble this year. Kansas City's been stumbling all year long. What does that tell you about the first 8 weeks? I think that tells you this is the first full, not strange training camp that everyone's had. And I think there are a couple of teams that, yes, I say are pretty good and should be in the mix. And then there's everybody else. And I think that everybody else mix is about 20 plus teams, Atlanta being one of them. Does this mean I'm saying Atlanta is elite? Does this saying I'm saying Atlanta is one of the better teams? No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is we have just as much of an opportunity as any other team. Will it shock me today if we go out there and perform and beat New England? Not at all, because it's every week. New England has just as short of time to rest as we do. How does Mac Jones react after only getting a 3-day rest? This is his first time going through this, his first rodeo with a Thursday night game. Who knows? So there are a lot of questions coming into this game. And I think if Atlanta just executes, and you have to execute today. We did not execute last week. We must execute. We must protect Matt. We must get some semblance of a pass rush, or Matt Jones is going to eat us alive. Don't think for 1 minute Josh McDaniel isn't sitting back there just frosting at the mouth at some of the defensive woes that he's probably seen on tape with the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to try their best to get us. All I'm hoping is the Falcons are up to the task. I think they will be. You're going to see a much better effort, I think, from our team. And at least an effort we can be proud of. I'm hoping we come off with the win. It's going to be tough, but I hope we come away with the win. Lisa says a bounce back win right now would be good for us. Otherwise, there'll be more fussing in this group. But that's going to be fussing no matter what. There's fussing when we win. We beat the New Orleans Saints 2 weeks ago, and you would have thought that we lost 6 in a row. I've gotten to the point now where, look, sometimes you can't sweat the small stuff. There are going to be folks that will disagree just because it's their nature to disagree. I think I'm probably a more positive person about this team, slightly pessimistic, but I don't stop rooting for my team. And you're not going to see me sit here and just totally throw eggs at my team. Now, some of the folks that just want to fight back and forth about what player is this, what player, I don't get into all of that. Now, y'all got plenty of folks that get into that stuff. I don't. I'm into pumping up this team and getting us to the next level. That's my deal. Cam says last time we beat the Patriots was November 8th, 1998. Ooh, where was I? 1998. Oh, wow. 1998. The birth of the Dirty Bird. Was that was the last time? That was the birth of the Dirty Bird. And O.J. Santiago. And we destroyed the Patriots that day. Cam, look it up. That was the day we went up to New England. It wasn't Gillette Stadium then. I don't think it was something else. But that was the birth of the Dirty Bird. Go back and check it out. O.J. Santiago in the end zone with his call. It's on tape. Go look at that. Oh man. Andriana, hi, how are you? And please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Good afternoon to you too. Rise up. Let's do this thing today. Anthony, what's going on, brother? Say, gave my tickets to my daughter and her boyfriend. I got to work tonight, but I'll be rooting for our team. That's what I wanted to mention, Anthony, and thank you for always tuning in, Anthony. I appreciate it. I have to work today. I wanted to go to this game so bad when the season started and everything like that. But it's one of those things where I have some holiday days coming up, and I don't want to give up the holiday days for this Thursday night game. So I will be tuned in to the radio tonight, whether it be on Sirius XM or 92.9 and checking out the game. But yeah, Anthony, I will have my headsets on. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go. It sounds a throwback day. So got my little throwback hat on, and I actually have a throwback shirt on. I'll probably take a picture and post it in the group when I get to work. But I got my throwback. I'm all into it. And maybe we can throw back to that 1998 team and get some good vibes going forward, because we need it. We do need it. RJ, what's going on, brother? Tuning in from work. Thank you for doing that, RJ. I'm leaving for work in about 20 minutes. So trust me, I wanted to check in with my folks, see how we feeling about the game. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic because in my eyes, I just don't see a way that we can come out as flat as we did last week. I know New England, and I know Bill Belichick, as long as he's the coach, he's going to challenge those guys. I truly think they're going to be ready. Let's see if we can match their intensity and, more importantly, match their execution. That's what we need to do for this game. At least since Jeez Louise, 1998, that's been decades. Yeah, that's a long time. Long time. That was the game that actually, I love that hat. I'm looking like a youngster. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Look, hey, I'll go for that. Cam says, I was in high school. I was a freshman. Wow. That's a long time. Like I said, I was just getting out of the military about a couple of years before that. So, yeah, long time. 41-10. I think, Keith, I think you're right. I know we scored a lot of points, and that was pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, Keith, that was the game that, I'm not looking at anything. This is just from off the top of my head. I think that was the game that started the winning streak, because we started the year, it was either 2-2, 3-2, whatever it was. And then we ran off the last, because we ended up 14-2. We ran off the last 9. I forgot what it was, but I think that was the game that started the win streak, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but y'all double check with me on that. But and I don't think we lost again until the Super Bowl, because I know we lost the game earlier that year to San Francisco, but we came back and avenged that game later on that year. Y'all double check me. I'm not. Yeah. He said, Cam says, call. Keep it. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man? Keeping my mouth closed on this one. Let's just see what happens. That is probably the MO of all of us, buddy. And me included. I don't want to do a lot of barking. I did more barking going into the Dallas game because it's Dallas. And it goes back to my title, what I was talking about. We need a little luck. We need some pride and luck in this game. Pride being you don't want to come out there as flat as you were last week. Luck being it is what it is. You need some bounces to come your way. You need some turnovers. You need for New England not to execute. Something that I know they are good at, but maybe a Thursday night will throw them off. I don't know. But whatever it is, you need all of that tonight. I was talking about I saw front running teams. It's so weird how the 3 weeks in a row, we probably ran into the 3 most front running, and I mean that specifically for Atlanta. 3 of the more front running franchises in the game. The New Orleans Saints, who, if New Orleans thinks they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, the Dallas Cowboys, who think every year they're Super Bowl contenders and haven't won since before that, 1998. And, of course, today, the New England Patriots, who I must admit probably are in a better position to be front-running than anybody else. That's always funny to me. I have friends at work. I have former people that I knew in the military. I have people that I went to school with that I never heard anybody talk about Steve Grogan or Drew Bledsoe. But then all of a sudden, let New England win a Super Bowl or two. I'm a lifelong Patriots fan. It's very interesting, and it's prevalent all over the place. I only have about one or two buddies. My buddy Chip Epps went to school with me. I know he's from the Boston area. He's probably the only legit guy that I will say is ride or die. I actually have another guy at work that's from the Boston area that claims the Patriots, and I give them full credit. A lot of these other folks, but Tom Brady, and now all of a sudden they're Tampa Bay, so it's weird. What's going on? What's going on, John? And Glenn, I see you out there, Glenn. Thank you, brother. Rusty in the Peach State as I type. Yeah, Rusty, man, look, I hope you have a great time, man. I really planned on trying to go to the game, but work did not go. I know John Harris can vouch for me on how that works out. Hope you have a great time and enjoy yourself, brother. You'll have plenty of elbow room, I can tell you that. Darius says, who do you think will make an impact on offense? I'm going to tell you who's going to have to make an impact on offense. It's going to have to be number two. Number two is probably going to have to force some things today. Number two will have to force some games, and we're going to have one of the best offensive line games we've had this year. We need to run the ball. We need to have the ability to run. If we're not able to run, folks, it's going to be a long game. We have to run the ball today. And I'm not talking about 1 yard per carry. We have to find ways to stay on the field, keep the offense of New England off the field, and score points. As much as I love Younghoe Koo, I only want to see him on extra points this week, not on field goals. We need to control the ball. Rusty, wonder how many 28-3 comments are going to be spoke from Pats fans. Again, and listen, to the victor goes the spoils. I can't say there is nothing we can do about New England fans bringing up the 28-3 thing because it happened. It happened. And quite honestly, I keep hearing people say Atlanta will have to win the Super Bowl to erase that. I don't even think that erases. I think the only thing that erases it is Atlanta were to play the Patriots and exercise those demons, and not in a regular season game. You don't exercise the 28-3 in a regular season game. You have to do that on the biggest stage, and you have to take it out on that team. Until then, unfortunately, 28-3 is going to be ingrained in everybody's head. I saw the 28-3 being mentioned last week in college football. Auburn was up 28-3 against was it Mississippi State? Mississippi State came back and ran off 40 straight points and won the game. Not the same situation, but I heard the 28-3 folks mess with it. As Falcon fans, unfortunately, and I'm using a Dan Quinn-ism, you have to embrace the suck on that one. There's nothing we can do to erase 28-3. And the only way we would erase 28-3 is to bring the Patriots, get to the Super Bowl, play the Patriots again, and get that. But you know what? I'm past 28-3. And it's always funny to me, the Patriots fans, that always bring it up because, you know, they don't troll us like they troll Philadelphia. They don't not Philadelphia. Well, they can't. Well, they can do Philadelphia one time. They definitely can't troll the Giants. They don't troll the Carolina Panthers like that. They don't troll the Rams like that. We're a punching bag. We're a punching bag because we haven't had a history of winning. So it's easy for them to do that. But mentally, as Atlanta fans, sometimes you just gotta, they don't have anything else to do but to say 28-3. And again, I get it. I'm not a heavy troller, but if I was, I would probably be trolling somebody pretty hard until you avenge that. So as Falcon fans, you just have to keep scrolling. What's going on, Gregory? How you doing, sir? So I always won the W, but our salary cap had champagne taste and beer money. I'm always a diehard Falcon for the win, though. And I know you are, Gregory, and I know a lot of folks are. What you have to do, man, just got to keep pressing, man. We can't hold on to that forever. Just, pass it by and, hope for better, man. This is a new team, new regime. We already know some of the shortcomings. We already know what we're up against in 2022 as far as draft position and all of that other good stuff. But we somehow have to keep it moving. What's going on, Ron? How you doing, sir? Jerome, what's going on, sir? Good evening to you. Quint, what's up, Q? Congratulations, granddaddy. I saw the pictures of your handsome grandson there, man. Congratulations to you. You beat me to the punch on the grandfather thing, and you got older kids. I still got young ones. So hopefully we won't have that in a while. But congratulations to you, brother. And Quint says to play to the very end of the game. We got to, man. We got to. We cannot think the game is over like we did in Miami, like we did in New Orleans, and almost lost those games because we have a mentality of, that's a 3-touchdown, that's a 3-score lead. And we can't do that, man. Teams don't give up. Teams do not give up. They're going to keep it going and keep it moving like that. Let me see. J. Dot, what's going on? Says, seeing these 28-3 posts makes me mad. We need to get the W. And again, they're going to use that forever or until the next generation comes or until the Falcons somehow, some way, miraculously goes into a 2-3 Super Bowl run and do our own trophy grabbing. But until then, the 28-3, Jay-Z, dirt off your shoulder, man. Got to brush it off. It is what it is. It's nothing we can do about that. 0. Cam says, yeah, the score was 41-10. Talking about that New England game. Absolutely. What does that say? That was the game the 49ers had beat us the week before. Absolutely. The 49ers beat us. That was Terrell Owens. Was that his rookie year? I think that was his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. But Frisco beat us. We came back, won on the road against New England, and did not lose again until the Super Bowl. That was a very good time there. My brother Jonathan, what's going on? Lost to the Jets, too, with that older quarterback, Steve DeBerg, in 1998. Yes, OJ debuted the Dirty Bird in New England. That game was over in the first quarter. And I remember being upset that we had lost that game before, Jonathan. And, you were just thinking, oh, no, here's another Falcon year again. And, man, the way we handled New England in that game, and we just rolled. And when you start talking about Jamal and should have probably won the MVP that year, even though Terrell Davis, or I think, is it Terrell? Whichever one it is. Davis from Denver. I think that was the year he had 2,000 yards. So give him credit for doing that. But Jamal, maybe I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Jamal's 1998 year was the best year performance of an Atlanta Falcon ever, because we literally jumped on his back to the Super Bowl that year. Jamal was beasting in 1998. So I know Matt had an outstanding 2016 campaign, and he was an MVP. I just think for Jamal, I think Jamal had 400 carries that year, if I'm not mistaken. And I know I'm going into the Wayback Machine. But yeah, that absolutely. Tonio said, I need that hat. Oh, man, I got this hat. I want to say it was last year. I think I did last year, and I had it up on my little podium right there. So I'm going to wear it to work today since we're doing the old school thing. But yeah, yeah, man, love me some old school Falcons. I got my old school helmet over here. If y'all can't see it right there. So old school on that side too. So I'm all about my Falcons now, but I definitely love the history Love the history. Lisa said, I went to Tampa for our game versus the Bucks. Funniest thing was seeing Bucks and Patriots fans going at it over Brady. Oh, yeah. Listen, the Patriots are probably very protective of that that franchise in their success. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He did a lot. He did a lot. Lisa says, yeah, I expect to see 28-3 tonight in the Benz by Pats fans in attendance. Of course, to the victor goes the spoils, y'all. To the victor goes the spoils. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, we got a newcomer, Ty D. Jones. He sounds very similar to one of the other guys in the group. But welcome to Array, Ty D. Got to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls to erase the 28-3 talk on our bright side. I don't know if you heard me when I said that, Ty D, but I literally said that about 3 minutes ago. There's nothing else that's going to erase 28-3 until you get past that. Your Atlanta Braves are still the 2021 World Series champs. Absolutely. The city just broke a curse. The city just broke that. The Georgia area could double up this year. And I think our chances are real good. Folks, this team looks very similar to that Georgia team that ran the table in 1980. I'm going to tell you a big difference, though. That defense was good, but they weren't doing the stuff that this defense is doing. Man, when Tennessee came out there and did their thing on first drive, and I said to myself, I said, okay, I see you, Tennessee. They coming out there and doing something. And Georgia, whoever's running the defense, and I don't know the coach's name because I'm sorry, I like Georgia a lot and root for him, but all I know is Kirby and the players. They did something that Atlanta Falcons coaching has not done in a long time. They adjusted. Whatever Tennessee did on that first drive, they weren't able to do it anymore. And the little garbage touchdown at the end, nobody paying that any attention. They adjusted and they locked them cats up. That's what the Falcons have to do. Last week, Dallas goes right down the field, scores a touchdown. We need to come back. We should have come back, been able to adjust, slow that down. We did, actually, for 3 and out. And then the offense, unfortunately, stalled at the 4th and 7. Still scratching my head over that decision. But again, that's yesterday. We got to worry about tonight. Making adjustments, making successful adjustments. You got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. We have not been very successful, whether the beginning of this regime or last regime. We have to do that. We have to do that. Toddy says Vegas has UGA as the favorites versus Alabama in the SEC championship game, -3. Look, Alabama better not. Look, and I know I just finished talking about them in the 28-3. Don't think Auburn going to lay down for Alabama. Matter of fact, for Auburn, that might be their college football playoff game. Auburn would love nothing better than to bring Alabama to come sit down right next to them in the SEC West. If they can pull off that upset, that would be awesome. Now, Alabama got a chance to beat their chest when they played Mount Mary's Sisters of the Poor last week. But as far as Auburn is concerned, that would make their day if they could take them cats off. So, yeah. Lamar says Auburn and Alabama is always a fight. Absolutely. Especially this year. This year, man, there's not going to be anything easy about that game this year. Nothing. Alabama better come ready for fire because Auburn's going to bring it in spite of their loss they just had. They're going to bring it. So again, those front-running fans, the New Orleans Saints, as I love to see Cam Jordan talk junk, hasn't won a thing in his career. I like to see Dallas talks junk like they've been winning Super Bowls since the 21st century. They haven't even been to a Super Bowl. Matter of fact, dare I say, has Dallas even been to an NFC championship since 2000? They may have, but even if they haven't, so Andrietta says, sounds like a joke. Roll Tide. Oh, let me clear myself. I didn't say Auburn was gonna beat Alabama. I said they will be ready for Alabama. So, as an Alabama fan, similar to a New England fan, you always got that bullseye on you. This year of all years, this has been probably one of the shakier years, which, again, shaky in a team that's won 6 national championships in the last 12, 15 years. I mean, you still got a good run. But at the same time, this has not felt like a normal Alabama team. What better way to take care of that than in the Iron Bowl and shutting up all the Auburn fans to say, yeah, y'all are a waste of time. All I'm saying is just don't overlook them. That was my point. I didn't mean to get into the Auburn Alabama thing. I'm just thinking about the ramifications of Alabama making the SEC championship. They should. If I had money, I'd put it on Alabama to make it to that game. But if they make it to that game, yeah, the Bryce Young, I'm not sure if I'm feeling him against this defense. This defense is a whole different animal than any team they played this year. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up from a defensive standpoint. I don't think they will this year. Man, you can have all the rest of the trophies. Lamar says Auburn can have 0 wins if they beat Alabama. The coaching job is safe. Yeah, and look, similar. Well, I can't say similar to the Falcons. Falcon fans, we can go 3-14. We get 2 wins against the Saints. Everybody will feel good about life. It will. I'm not saying they'll feel good about the team, but they'll feel great to say, well, we lost, but we beat the Saints. So that's something to look forward to. Cam says no about Dallas. Say the furthest they've been in the first round. That's not true. They went to the divisional playoffs the year they were the number 1 seed in 2016. Remember, we were the number 2 seed that year. They lost to Green Bay, and then they won. I know Romo took them to the divisional round once. So they've definitely been to the divisional round, but I don't think they've been to the championship round in a long time. But they have been to the divisional round. That they did in 2016. Had they won that game, we would have gone to Dallas, and who knows, fortunes would have turned. But, hey, ifs and buts, can't do nuts. Anyway, folks, hope it's a good game. I'm going to be checking stuff out on Facebook. Hopefully, Tidy will get on and talk about things later. I'll be at work. I'm going to be rooting my Falcons on. Break out your old school gear. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow in the live, if not on Sunday. Definitely try to hope we can get this win. This will be huge, y'all. This will be huge to get that mini, to go to 5-5 and get that little mini bye, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, and go into next week. This would be huge. By far, this season is not over. You have things to play for. A win could really help the morale, not only of the team, the organization, but the fan base, who right now just has not had a lot to smile about. Until then, y'all enjoy the game. Go Falcons. Do what you got to do, guys. We need y'all to come through for us. Matt, I need a big game from you. Pitts, I need you to ball out today. Running game, I don't even care who running. Gallman, Davis, hopefully CP, anybody. I just need offense. And defense, just don't embarrass ourselves. Not on national TV again. We got to show up, y'all. Until then, y'all be good, man. Enjoy yourself. God bless. Take care. Peace.